Good morning. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your morning flash update for this Wednesday, the 24th of June, 2020. Well, COVID cases picking up has certainly got the market's attention, and I think that's weighing on the markets right now. Another blow that happened is today we're hearing again that our trade representative office has dusted off the sanctions on France, Spain, the UK, and Germany, and it's talking of imposing taxes on luxury goods worth $3.1 billion. Part of this is getting that WTO case has been sitting forever resolved. If they can't do it, maybe this is what they'll do, but at this time of the world economies, the last thing we need is more tariffs, right? I don't understand the thinking on that. Another part that's hurting the market, eventually it's going to show up. We are watching Joe Biden just stay quiet, and the polls are marching in his favor. There's only about 17 weeks or so now until the election. So if President Trump's numbers don't start surging, and I don't see that groundswell that he had before, we might be looking at a different government coming in. And how does the market handle that? I've given up trying to figure out, after the president won and we saw the market just take off for 4 years, that Joe Biden, so many think the market will just go down. I don't think you can go by those thoughts. I learned my lesson and I'm not going to do that. Gold tried the 1800 level, failed. Now the silver got over that 1837 level, tried an upside breakout, fell almost $1 an ounce. Platinum market getting hit. That brings me to a report. I read an interesting report today from Dow Jones Newswires that I'm including in my morning subscription video. It has to do with gold and what happens with these world economies, and it might surprise you. I think it's well worth reading. It is not necessarily the place to be if we see a revival in other areas and our dollar starts dropping. You would think it is. I'll show you the correlations and all. If you don't have a subscription to what I do, in other words, my morning 11:30, 12 o'clock update, you might want to right now go to our website and sign up for a free trial, and we'll try to get that to you. As for the grain market, still flat, and while China's still buying grain, it's not having an impact on price. You can see how the market's reacting today. Now, because I'm recording right when the EIA came out, I can tell you that those numbers were not bullish. The market didn't interpret them, otherwise we'd have seen a jump in this already. Bond market, I understand the bounce. As the market comes down here, traders start wondering just what's going on. Now, the economic data of the day, if we can get to that. We're looking at the surge in COVID cases. I wrote about it last night in detail. You're just setting records in California, Texas, Florida. I can go on with other states, and you're starting to run short of beds, using about, 86% of the beds, I think, in Arizona right now, ICU beds. There's only 14% left. That's not a lot. I told you just now about the $3.1 billion in tariffs being discussed. The MBA mortgage headline down. As we've seen what's going on right now, we're not seeing the new index take off, we're not seeing the new purchase, and we're not seeing the refi take off. And the IMF today downgraded the global economy outlook, saying it's now going to shrink even more, 4.9% this year. These are not interesting times, and of course, we have to all be worried what's going to happen. Is there going to be a change of government happening? What does that do for all these markets? So it's time to dust off your sleepiness as we're heading into summer and start paying good attention to what's going on here. Now, as you know, one of the things that I've been telling you I've been doing is expanding my Spider ETF video, and I'm up to 35 charts in it now. We cover quite a bit, and we've also added to it a combo package where you can get the morning subscriber video that I record about 5:30, 5:40 in the mornings on the futures, which ties together with it. So many of the ETFs are tied to what goes on in the futures markets. The spiders, no, those are the individual sectors, but they look at the broader market. Now, as I said, I'm up to 35 charts. I already have the 36th one picked out. And here's what you're going to get. You get in the afternoon technical analysis, fundamentals, buy-sell recommendations from me, exact ones, very specific. And the idea there is if you have your own trade idea, maybe you see what I'm seeing. Now, this is what I'm now covering. And as you can see, it has expanded greatly. We have added SMH yesterday for this. We're covering in the others this section. Metal markets, we've added a number of miners to it. energies, even the nat gas is in there, stock indices, emerging markets. We've covered just a lot more for you. And the idea there is to give you a good picture. Now, it absolutely ties together with the futures part because so many ETFs are based on what futures are doing. In fact, many of them own futures, so the correlation is exceptionally strong. You can start off at $8.95. Our combo package is $16.90 if you wanted to try both. You go to our website. It's all explained under the word futures. And remember, I'm going to repeat this. There's a report that I think is well worth reading. I am not sending it to everybody. You're either on a trial for our market research or you're a subscriber to get what I'm sending out today. You have a great day. I'll see you all this afternoon.